Mother Teresa was born on August 26, 1910 in Skopje, Macedonia, into a devout Catholic Albanian family. She was the youngest of 3 children and was given the name Agnes at birth. In her early years, she became fascinated with the lives and services of missionaries after hearing stories from her parish priest. At the age of 12, she decided to devote herself to religious life. On August 15, 1928, her resolve grew stronger as she prayed at the Black Madonna Shrine in Vitina Letnice, where she often went on pilgrimages. In 1928, at age 18, she said goodbye to her family to become a nun and never saw them again, considering it a sacrifice to Jesus. She joined the Sisters of Loreto in Ireland, where she learned English to become a missionary. She moved to India in 1929 and began her novitiate in Loreto Convent, Darjeeling, where she learned Bengali. She took her religious vows and chose the name Thérèse, after Sainte Thérèse de Lisieux, the patron saint of missionaries. Sister Teresa became a teacher at the Loreto Convent School in Calcutta, and her students loved her. She served there for nearly 20 years and was appointed as its headmistress. Sister Teresa enjoyed teaching and her life in the convent, but she was deeply disturbed by the poverty around her in Calcutta. In 1946, on a train to Darjeeling for a retreat, she felt a call in her inner conscience to serve the poorest of poor for Jesus while living among them, which she later described as the call within the call. Sister Teresa humbly asked for and received permission to leave the Loreto convent after 2 years, honoring her vow of obedience. In 1948, she began missionary work with the poor. She wore a simple white sari with a blue border that resembled those worn by poor Indian women and street sweepers in Calcutta. Though no one knew it then, Sister Teresa had become Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa spent several months in Patna at Holy Family Hospital, receiving basic medical training so she could help poor people in the slums. Mother Teresa started an open-air school for poor children, teaching and feeding them as best she could. In the early months with no income, she begged for food and faced a lot of difficulties to find a place to stay. From this, she learned how hard life was for the poor people. Despite all these difficulties, she remained committed to doing God's will, out of love for Him.
The best way to show my gratitude to God is to accept everything, even my problems, with joy.
Even in times of doubt, loneliness, and feeling abandoned by God, she clung to Christ with unwavering blind faith. In 1950, Mother Teresa received Vatican permission to establish the congregation, the Missionaries of Charity, which she founded with only a handful of members. Most of them were former teachers or pupils from the school where she taught. They lived a simple life on donations from people around them.
Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love.
Mother Teresa opened a hospice for poor homeless people who were dying in the slums, giving them medical care and a chance to die with dignity according to their faith. She opened leprosy outreach clinics, providing patients with medication, dressings, and food. The Missionaries of Charity took in many homeless children and opened children's home for orphans and homeless youth. Mother Teresa believed she was serving Jesus Christ by caring for the poor, whom she often described as Jesus in a distressing disguise.
The poor will help us grow in sanctity, for they are Christ in the guise of distress.
Mother Teresa prayed silently. She drew strength from constant, intimate prayer, seeing it as a way to love Christ and receive grace for her missionary service.
I always begin my prayer in silence, for it is in the silence of the heart that God speaks to us.
She believed prayer changes people, who then change things, providing the inner strength to serve the poorest of the poor. Her life was a simple way of relying on God's strength. She believed in total surrender to God, trusting that He would use her as an instrument of peace, regardless of her own shortcomings.
Prayer in action is love, love in action is service.
Mother Teresa believed prayer was not about asking for things, but about listening to God in silence, a state of allowing God to be revealed.
God speaks in the silence of the heart, and to hear Him, one's heart must be empty of other things. Instead of demanding our will, we must become silent and open our hearts to God's presence.
Her missionary work quickly gained worldwide attention, and donations poured in from India and around the world. Mother Teresa's charitable activities grew rapidly. She then expanded the congregation and their missionary services all over the world. By 1997, the Missionary of Charity congregation had grown to over 4,000 sisters, who managed orphanages, hospices, schools, shelters, and charity centers worldwide. The Missionaries of Charity Brothers and the Lay Missionaries of Charity were founded to help the poor.
I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. Together, we can do great things. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin.
Mother Teresa faced much criticism, but she accepted it with a smile.
No matter who says what, you should accept it with a smile and do your own work. If you are humble, nothing will touch you, neither praise nor disgrace, because you know what you are. People are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfishness. Be kind anyway. What you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway.
In 1979, Mother Teresa received the Nobel Peace Prize. She accepted it in the name of the poorest of the poor and donated the prize money to help the needy in India, saying that earthly rewards were important only if they helped her to help the world's needy. She emphasized that peace begins at home and in the family, through love and kindness. When Mother Teresa was asked, "What can we do to promote world peace?" she answered, "Go home and love your family."
Peace begins with a smile. Know poor people in your own home and your local neighborhood. Love begins at home. And it is not how much we do, but how much love we put into that action.
She believed that poverty in the West was harder to address, as being unloved, unwanted, and forgotten is a deeper poverty than lacking food.
The most terrible poverty is loneliness and the feeling of being unloved.
She urged people to care for those around them, especially the elderly and sick who feel neglected, because the only cure for loneliness, despair, and hopelessness is love.
If you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one.
Mother Teresa believed that gratitude means accepting everything with joy and being thankful for what you have.
When you are grateful for what you have everything you need.
Pope John Paul II visited Mother Teresa's hospice in Kolkata and was deeply moved by her work, calling her a courageous woman and a symbol of compassion. The two shared a close and lasting friendship. Mother Teresa visited prison inmates, notably bringing messages of God's love to often violent offenders. She treated prisoners as people with souls, not just numbers or criminals. Her approach to criminals and gang members was to treat them as children of God and to tell them God loves you. Instead of sitting in a chair provided for her on a stage during Mass, she chose to sit on the floor with the inmates, emphasizing their dignity and transforming lives through her humility. Her visit was a profound, life-changing experience for many who described seeing the face of Christ in her.
If you judge people, you have no time to love them. We cannot condemn or judge or pass words that will hurt people.
Mother Teresa believed in loving until it hurts, encouraging people to not withdraw when times are difficult. She was strong, firm, and resilient, the qualities that helped her work in challenging environments. Mother Teresa was fearless, as she interacted directly with gang members in Chicago to protect her sisters. There was a situation that the gangs controlled the 5 Chicago high-rise towers and often threatened the missionaries of Charity Sisters by firing rifles when they came to serve in that area. So the young sisters of Missionaries of Charity called Mother Teresa for help, and Mother Teresa told them,
Sisters, I sent you here to love. I don't care if they're killing. We came here to love. We can turn hate into love. Take me now to the door where they are shooting us.
When Mother Teresa met the gang, a big gang member told Mother Teresa,
Mother, you can't come in here. I have business in here.
I too have business here. Let us make a deal.
You are definitely a saint, Mother. You can come in here. I can't stop my business, but I will protect your sisters.
The Sisters of Missionaries of Charity continued their service there for another year, and Mother Teresa told her sisters to invite the gangs to eat in their soup kitchen during Christmas.
Be kind to one another. It is better to make mistakes with kindness than to perform miracles with rudeness.
Due to her declining health, Mother Teresa died on September 5, 1997 in Calcutta. Mother Teresa was canonized as Saint Teresa of Calcutta on September 4, 2016, less than 20 years after her death, following 2 recognized miracles attributed to her intercession. The first miracle was the healing of an Indian woman with an abdominal tumor, and the second was the healing of a Brazilian man with a brain tumor, leading to her sainthood. This is the original photo of our beloved Mother Teresa.